Hello everyone and welcome back to Make Believe, where we're playing The House in Fata Morgana. Last time, the silver-haired girl had a busy day talking with everyone. First was Nelli redecorating her room to find a reason to have some one-on-one conversation with the silver-haired maiden. Because somehow her brother knew about this person, even though he was sleeping when it was announced. And so she was curious about this woman taking her brother away from her. Then it had the conversation of her with Mell, where she told him a story that her father used to tell her about a girl trapped in a house. Was it a tower or just a house? I don't remember. But yeah. And then at the end of the day, she was in the garden looking at the white roses. This maid shows up, and the rose in her hand becomes red instead of white. So, very mysterious. We'll see what we have in store for today. Oh, thank you for telling me most recent. I was about to wonder that. Oh, let's load it in. Slowly but surely, time trekked onward, everyone working towards their own individual goals. Each early summer breeze that blew through the garden was like God's hollowed breath, carrying the flower fragrance in through the Rose Manor's windows. If only time could be stopped, and this beautiful era made to live on through eternity. As usual, Mell's eyes chased after the white-haired girl, and Nelli pursued her lips in frustration at him. Yep. But she was still rather docile. Even taking into account how self-centered she behaved, how fickle her temper, Nelli's fits were still no worse than a playful kitten. See, at the very moment, our lively little feline had her claws poised to swat at the flaxen-haired young man. Mell, you promised me, or have you forgotten? I haven't forgotten. I'm just asking if we can go another day. Another day? This isn't something that happens every day, you know. I've been looking forward to tonight's performance for so long. There's nothing I can do about that. We're having a gathering at the priest's home tonight. Several high-ranking officials have come up from the mainland just for this. Who cares? I care. You know, Nelli, it doesn't have to be me who goes with you. Oh, trust me, she does want you to be the one. No, I want to go with you, Mell. You've been so distant lately, dearest Mell. You refuse to do anything with me. That's not true. Tell me, if you can't go today, when can you? When will you be willing to go out with me? When will you be willing to play cards with me? To have tea together? I can't make any promises. I have things to do. Obligations, you know. And Nelli, you're almost an adult yourself. Stop acting like such a child. I'm not an adult yet. I'm still a kid. If it means I don't get to play with you anymore, dearest Mell, then I don't want to be an adult. Nelli, you can't just... Lady Nelli, the master wishes to speak with you. Huh? Father does? What could he want? Go on, Nelli. You can't make Father wait. He's very particular about people keeping their appointment, you know? Yeah, he is. Unlike you, dearest Mell. What's got her in such a foul mood? Oh, thank goodness for small miracles. Nelli just won't seem to take me at my word lately. You mustn't be so harsh on her. She's your one and only darling little sister, after all. You're right, but still, She's taken a bit too far of late. Oh? I'm not so sure. She does seem to be behaving any... She does not seem to be behaving any differently to me. Am I the only one acting differently then? Well, enough about that. Can I ask you a favor? Me? What can I do for you, sir? I was thinking. Physically, Mell was undeniably a young man, but the smirk that crossed his lips as he schemed gave his face the sweet look of a little boy. Or perhaps that was simply part of his charm, and it was not the age disparity, but his character that made his smile so heartwarming. What did he ask of me, you would say? You shall find out soon enough. It's cloudy. And thank goodness for that too. Though it would be even better if it were even darker out. I believe the textile shop was around here. Ah. Hi there. Lord Mell. Fancy meeting you here? Yeah, what a surprise. So, what do you say we take this chance and go for a little walk? Since you're sensitive to the sunlight, we can keep our eyes out for shadowy area as we go. And if you feel unwell, just let me know. I was sent out on an errand. Don't worry about that. Come on, follow me. There's that little music. Look at them going. I'm sorry. It actually wasn't an accident that we crossed paths. I planned this out ahead of time. Asked to have you sent out on a fake errand. It feels like I'm always on alert back in the mansion, you know. Can't relax in my own home. It's actually kind of funny. Sorry, that was inappropriate of me. I just thought, since the sun's mostly blocked out, it would be alright if... I'm feeling just fine. Awkward silence. Of course, I get her out of the house and I can't even think of anything to say. Hey, yes? Have you settled into the life of the mansion yet? I have. Everyone has been such a big help. That's good to hear. Indeed. And back to the silence. So, yes? Nelli told me she had you help redecorate her room some time back. Yes, that was shortly after I arrived. What of it? Yeah, that day Nelli told me that you don't, I don't? Never mind. Sorry, it's not important. It is important, but I can't just ask how she feels about me. That would make it sound like I... Forget sound like. I do, don't I? Hey, look at that! He's admitting to himself. Good on him. Lord Mell? Oh, sorry. Had something on my mind. It looks like it might rain again today. The weather usually gets better as summer approaches, not worse like it has been. It won't be a heavy storm though. No? The wind's too gentle for that. You can tell from that? Vaguely, but yes. Huh, that's impressive. I often leave the house unprepared, only to find myself sloshing back in the rain. You left a lot more than you used to. Do I? Yeah, and I like that. You look better with a smile on your face. A smile suits Lady Nelli much more than I. What? Her smile and your smile are completely different. Also, a smile suits you as well, Lord Mell. Do, do you really think so? What am I supposed to do in the face of a smile like that? So, yes? Knowing her, if I ask if I'm imposing, she'll say no without hesitation. Trying to cover myself isn't going to get me anywhere. Hold on a sec. I never did get you those flowers like I promised. There was a single white rose blooming in the garden. That white rose, you say? I was planning to give it to you, but it disappeared before I had the chance. Yeah, somehow it became a red rose, and she picked that up already. So, I'd like you to have this. It's not a real rose, but it won't wilt either. Mell was holding an ornamental white rose. It was an impressively detailed replica of the real thing, crafted by an incredible skilled artisan's hand. It was, I imagine, made by the same craftsman from whom Mell had ordered Nelli's birthday necklace. The young man, who but a handful of days earlier had said he had no sweetheart, had come in to commission a present for a girl. Who would have thought? The master of the shop must have been quite surprised. Or perhaps it had given him a good laugh instead. I wouldn't know. It was for this moment that he so desperately sought for time together with the white-haired girl. I don't know what you like, so I had to base it on my sister's taste. My apologies. I cannot accept this. Is the design not to your liking? No, I just... If you're concerned about how much I paid for it, don't be. I just want you to have it. That's all. Please. Why you're so kind to me? Why? Because I'm sorry. I can't accept it. A clear glint of flustered panic was visible in her red eyes. There is not a girl in the world whose heart would not flutter at the sight of the sparkling rose accessory. But her reaction was far from delight. As a matter of fact, there were traces of fear and apprehension in her countenance. I beg your pardon. Hold on. With a look of distress on her face, the white-haired girl made to run off, but Mell grabbed her by the arm in the nick of time. At least, tell me why, please. Is it because you dislike me? I never said something's wrong with me. From the day you arrived to Dimension, it's like I haven't been myself. I've been strangely aflutter ever since then. Whether I try to study or whether I try to read, none of it sticks. Whether I try, I'm just looking at pages of text, tracing rows of letters, only for them to disappear as I look away. It's all because of you. I truly am sorry. Please, don't be any more generous than you already have. When I'm with you, my willpower wavers. What do you mean by that? I'm so sorry. Wait. Ooh, look at this art. Mell's grip loosened for a moment, allowing her to slip free and dart off like a gust of wind, not giving him a chance to stop her for a second time. dumbfounded, flaxen-haired boy stood frozen in place, left all by himself. The breeze, which the white-haired girl had called gentle earlier, felt faintly chilly, as if mocking him. It looks like she's even less fond of me than I thought. God, I'm crying. I'm pathetic. Well, if it isn't Mell, what might you be? Are you crying? I'm so pitiful. Sorry you had to see this. Think nothing of it, child. I passed by a girl just a few moments ago. She appeared to be rather distressed as well. Did something happen between the two of you? Oh, wasn't good enough, it seems. Not good enough? That was the new maid I was telling you about before. I was, like you said, Father, I was keen on her. Quite, in fact. Enough to bring me to tears like a miserable child. But she rejected me. I don't even have what it takes to be a stand-in prince. Well, I apologize for complaining to you about this. I'm completely hopeless. Mell, please, don't try to cheer me up. I don't need any sympathy. I just... No, Mell, listen to me. What? I've seen that girl before. What do you mean? But, you said she was a servant at your house, right? In which case... Yes, she is. Please tell me, Father, where did you see her? Why must you be so evasive? It was probably someone else. I'm sorry. Someone else? You're saying you mistook someone who stand out as much as her? Father, please. She and a man who I assume is her father paid a visit to the church once. They came asking for food, their clothes in tatters. The two were emaciated. I don't think they were eating daily. What? Wait a minute. Are you saying she's a beggar? But Father said she came from an esteemed house. Which is why I said I might be mistaken, Mell. She has a singular aspect, but it's possible there is another girl who looks similar. Deep down, though, the priest surely believed the opposite. And so he said sternly, like teacher to a pupil, "But you must be absolutely certain, Mell. Understood? You cannot proceed any further without knowing her ancestry." May I visit the church, Father? By all means. In the back of Mell's mind, a vision of the night of the storm, the night the white-haired girl arrived at the mansion, was surely replaying. She had been wearing little more than rags and covered in grime, hardly the appearance of a respectable young lady of class. Have I been putting her through unnecessary stress? She actually turns out to be nameless, to be rankless. Where she comes from, I hardly decided. I would not fool myself about how I feel any longer. Okay, I see you. No, I cannot fool myself. But how does she feel? What will everyone else think? I have to find out why she was welcomed to our home. I'll ask Mother. Or Father. No, If for some reason they don't know she isn't an aristocratic, I'm better off not saying anything. But if they don't, then does that mean she's been lying to us? And to them? I have to find out. This time, I must get answers. No, absolutely not. You come back and the first thing you say is that? I hate you, father. I will not stand for this. Oh, that's her talking to the father that called for her. Is it like an arranged marriage? Why? Why would he just suddenly throw that on me? He didn't even ask for my opinion. Oh, look at her. No, I won't do it. I'm fine the way things are. I'm fine. Dearest Mell, I need your help. I don't want to get married. Yep, just like I imagined. Y a história continua. I was expected to say that, but no, it just went quiet on me. This may seem sudden, but I must confess that I made a grave mistake. My transgression is that I was unable to completely predict where this path we were traveling led. My hands were full dealing with my immediate day-to-day tasks, so I could do not but pray there was happiness waiting in the future. Happiness for everyone who lived within Rose Manor. But I am but a mere maid. There are limits to what I'm allowed to do. And furthermore, it was now my place to offer her my hand. Roads, such as the one we were following, have a way to diverging with little warning. And if you do not turn the wheel exactly right at those sudden forks, you may end up somewhere horribly off course. I was well aware of that fact. Which is why I thought that what I did was for the best. It's happening again. I made sure the door was closed, but I can sense someone standing there. I don't know if it's the silver-haired maiden or if it's the maid that's telling the story. It's very likely one of the two. Someone's watching me. Footsteps. They're looking down at me. I want to open my eyes, but I can't do it. Curses. You're just gonna leave without doing anything, aren't you? Then hurry up and get out of here. Free me from this torture. No. Tonight they're on my bed now. Looking down on me. My neck. Oh my god. Is it the silver hair girl? I can't speak. I can't move. These cold fingers. That soft breath. Why? I can move my body, but that's not important right now. It is the silver hair girl, isn't it? Oh. Yeah. Look at that. You smell of roses. The scent of a world far removed from ours. And the music's always trippy like this, like... Well, not always, but it's certainly common to be with a trippy music like this. He made a gasp. He made to gasp at the sight before him, only to realize he could not. The pressure of her cold fingertips wrapped around his throat robbed him almost entirely of the ability to breathe. Why? He silently mouthed the word. For that moment at least, her melancholic ruby eyes were focused wholly on the flaxen-haired young man. In them glowed a faint flicker of willpower and a continuously burning agitation to rouse her to action. I told you to stop being so kind to me. Why? It will be all over soon. Please don't make any noise. Why? To but to put an end to this family. You're my only. Why are you shaking? Oh, the twist. What? Upon hearing Mell's word, the strength drained from her slender fingers. He had not been questioning why she would do such a thing. There was, of course, a trace of bewilderment visible in his eyes, but he did not shout, nor did he tremble in fear. He instead expressed concern for the young woman who looked like a cornered rabbit. I'm not shaking. You are. I can see it. As he slowly regained his breath, Mell's voice, too, grew clearer. Conversely, the red-haired girl's grew progressively more faint and raspy. You're not doing this because you genuinely want to. There is some other reason. This is what I desire. Have you been to my room before? You have. I'm sorry. Well, I'll be damned. Tell me, why are you shaking? You're not putting any pressure on my neck. Why haven't you run? Because I cannot fathom why you would do this. So, I'm not afraid. Do you hate me so deeply you want me dead? Do you despise me to the point you would be willing to take my life with your own hands? No, I don't. See? Like I said, there is another reason. If it isn't because you detest me, then tell me. Why is it? Wow, I'm honestly surprised with him. I'm sorry. I'll leave your room now. I'll do my best not to bother you any further. So please, forget anything ever happened. Do you think I'm just gonna say okay and let you go? Why can't you tell me the reason? I'm sorry. Alright, then I'll try and guess. What? It has something to do with your lineage. You're troubled by it somehow. Am I right? I thought so. How do you know about that? The priest of the church told me he had seen you before. He also told me a little about your origin. But that's all I know. The only difference between us is social rank. I don't know what would cause you to do this. Please, tell me who you really are. Tell me why you came to the mansion, and why Father allowed you to be a maid. I haven't said anything to Mother or Father. If you're hiding the truth from them, they still don't know. But I want you. I won't get mad at you or have you punished. I'll even swear to God if you like. I want to be the prince who whisks you away. I want to be like the prince who rescued the girl from the dark mansion and show her the world. I know I'm not that dependable, but I want to help you. Why do you show me such compassion? You clearly don't know what is love, girl. Why do you treat me like this? Now, is he gonna just outright tell her? I have my hand around your neck. Why? I thought it would be obvious. Or have I not expressed myself well enough? Oh, look at his hand over here. I love you. Every time you push away, it crushes me. I didn't even know my heart could feel such distress. If you dislike me and don't want to be with me, then, well, I'll just have to live with that. As much as it may hurt. But you have some other reason, some weight on your shoulders that you can't share with anyone else. Tell me. I want to help you. There are other options. Things we can do about your... No, that's not it. Huh? I tried to hate you so many times. So, yes, there's more to it than just social status. But I can't do it. I couldn't make myself do it. What do you mean? I had so many chances, but I couldn't do anything. She spoke in a stifled voice, as if every word had to fight to escape her lips. You could have described that earlier, before I said the line. She appeared so fragile, so precarious looking down on him, that it seemed as though if a gust of wind were to whisk through the room, it would blow her away completely. Her pale fingers were trembling, like she had tried to squeeze them again and failed. However, her hand did not pull away from his still slender neck. Her hand, it's so cold. He did not challenge her, but simply kept his eyes affixed on hers, as if carefully watching to see what she would do next. I'll say as many times as I must. I love you, and that I wouldn't be able to accept losing you without knowing anything. So please, tell me the reason. I'll see to it that you're taken care of. Those are the words of a man of means, Lord Mell, of someone blessed enough to have pity for others. You are a foolish young man. You know nothing. But the greatest fool of all is myself. If you agree to punish me, I will talk. Tell me. Her long white hair, his soft flaxen hair touched. For just the briefest of moment, he appeared in the darkness as though they had fused together. The white-haired girl, having finally gathered courage, began to slowly tell her tale. On the night of the storm, I paid a visit to Rose Manor. This mentioned, my father and I were always on the move, traveling across the land by foot, so it was only recently we heard rumors of Rose Manor. There are several reasons we can stay one place. First, is my unusual appearance. People often find colors of my skin or eyes disconcerting. So, after living one place for long enough, unsettling rumors would begin to spread, forcing us to leave. Another reason was my father's line of work. He painted pictures for a living, but he had trouble finding a patron, so he had to work day to day. When he was no longer able to find work in the city, we would move. We were birds that migrated without a flock. When we arrived at this town, my father was exhausted and weak. That is when we learned of the Rose Manor and the family who dwelled within it. Rhodes is a name my father can never forget. He was, long ago, a painter in service of the Rhodes family. Hold on. Your father was an artist here? Yes. It was before I was born, so you probably don't remember, Lord Mell. So, you knew about us before you came here? For as long as I can remember, I've known the name Rhodes. My father was chased from your house. Also, I'm pretty sure she had her eyes open for. Just because they didn't like something he painted. Having failed the Rhodes family, no one else would become his patron. Just as a good reputation spreads, so too does a bad one. If branded once a failure, no one will take you in ever again. You don't nobles throw your parties and spread your gossip about this painter or that sculptor. The rose you tried to give me is an example of that. It was certainly crafted with skill, but the jeweler is only known because of some aristocrats spoke highly of him. My father's painting were no less skillful. His was a talent that could not be easily imitated, but no one was willing to separate the art from the artist. Sadly, people are like that. The Rhodes family stole everything from my father, but even thrown out onto the streets, his only skill was painting. That was all he could do to earn a living. What little money we had for food, he gave it to me. What little, yeah, he did anything he could to ensure my survival, even at the expense of his own well-being. My father passed away in this town. Up until his, oh, hold on. It's going on automatic. I'm trying to stop it. Is it back to normal? Okay. Let me look at the log. Oh my god. Okay. Well, he did anything he could to ensure my survival, even at the expense of his own well-being. My father passed away in this town. Oh, there's some more. Up until his last breath, he was only ever concerned about me. He held me in his arms and ran his fingers through my hair, an apologetic look on his face. If I had a normal appearance, I'm sure life would have been much easier. He was always telling me how sorry he was for making life so hard, even though it's not his fault I look like this. I disdain the Rhodes family for putting my father through such hardship. I imagine you were still living decadence, acting as though nothing had ever happened. No, you wouldn't even care about the fate of one simple painter. Our lives meant nothing to you, and so I sought to bring misfortune upon you. And that's why you tried to kill me. In truth, I had wanted to take the master's life, but your father spent so much time outside the mansion, and so... You're right. If they lost me, it would put my family in a very difficult position. That is the whole of my tale. You now know about my father, and how I feel about you. Having told you of the blackness in my heart, I cannot go living like nothing has changed. Please, give me punishment. Why would you have to put the one I love? Why would you have me put the one I love through any more misery? I'm not fit for your affection. Not only because I'm not aristocratic, but because every time I spoke with you, I did so holding this darkness in my heart. Does that not unnerve you? In the end, it was my family's action that caused you so much suffering. Would that your father were still alive, perhaps I could have done something. I'm sorry. And besides, you hesitated. You didn't actually kill me. What am I even to punish you for? As you said, you had countless opportunities, but you could not bring yourself to do it. Tell me, why couldn't you kill me? If it's because I've given you enough reason, to have even the slightest bit of interest in me. Nothing was as I envisioned it. What? I assumed the residents of the Rose Manor would be cold people who believed that wealth and rank mattered above all. But on the night of the storm, the mistress was the first one to extend her hand to me. I arrived at the mansion disguised as a beggar. Actually, disguise is not the right word, as many nights I only survived on the generosity of others. The mistress did not send me away when she saw me. Quite the opposite. She took me in as a servant. So that was Mother's doing. I could scarcely believe she would invite a stranger into her home, that she would treat a stranger with such compassion. I thought perhaps she knew who my father was, but I have never met any of you before. So she must simply be that kind-hearted a woman. And the mistress continued to treat me with kindness, despite my disquieting appearance and the darkness in my heart. In time, I began to grow less and less sure of myself. Was what I meant to do truly right? Were the things I felt truly justified? But it was a certain fact that my father was here, and that he had been chased out. So I decided I should take your life, to put an end to everything before I wavered any further. And then, you were too kind to me. It's all your fault. Because you laugh with such affection. Because you gave me smiles like that. Because you say the things you say. I'm sorry. No, don't apologize. I'm so happy to hear that. Despite, the unusual circumstance, you know. Please, don't say you want to leave. Don't ask me to punish you. I couldn't do anything for your father, but at least allow me to do something for the daughter he cared for so dearly. You are far too kind-hearted. I'll be happier with you around. You can become a real aristocrat. And now she opened her eyes again. Huh? There are families that would be willing to adopt you, especially knowing it would bring them ties to the Rhodes family in the near future. Are you saying, as long as you're okay with that, of course. I don't want to impose. I don't understand. How could you possibly say that? I have my hands around your neck, even as we speak. It seems reasonable enough to me. I'm desperately looking for some way not to have to lose you. I couldn't. I don't know any etiquette or social customs. How could I? You can learn all of that. You're pretty and naturally graceful. You do just fine. You are such an aristocrat, Lord Mell. What? The way you can come up with compliments so easily. Only for you. Nelli says my poetry has as much charm as a dissertation. I don't understand theater. It puts me to sleep. You laughed. Thank goodness. Keep smiling. You don't have to stop. A smile on your face, it's a smile on mine. No matter how deep the darkness has taken root in your heart, it can always be removed. I believe people are capable of forging their own future. What do you say we go to the theater sometime? I promise I won't sleep through it this time. At the private theater, we can get seats at the far end of the second floor, so we don't have to stand. They would be pretty lavish seats, and would give you a chance to experience the noble life. But please, don't be shy. I can have clothes prepared for you. I'll ask one of the maids who can keep a secret. Say, the one with the black hair. She kinda scares me though. I don't know what I am supposed to say. How could you show such compassion for me? I tried to inflict harm upon you. Am I allowed to feel such joy? For every day you suffered, a day of happiness. That's how it has to be. So stand by my side. He softly whispered the girl's name. Wait, he knows her name? For several long moments, her lips trembled in trepidation. But in time, she squeezed them together and made a smile. He wrapped his arms around her unbelievably slender, frail frame, holding her tight in an affectionate embrace. Please tell me we have an image for that. Nope. Mell approached me the next day. He explained to me the course of events, and then asked me to dress her up more beautifully than any other noble girl had ever been. She was already a very pretty girl, so even without much effort on my part, simply putting her in a dress, she radiated beauty. I was quite partial to her smile, so I agreed to help, thinking that if it would lead to their happiness, I could not ask for anything more. I never anticipated what would happen next, though. Perhaps my hopes were unreasonable, after all. And now? Not gonna say it, huh? Wow, just lock it. Okay. It was... Oh! This is a new soundtrack, but we're gonna hear more of that next time. A slow-killing poison. Ooh. Oops. That's not it. And we're returning to the title. So, it seems that the boy in love was finally able to conquer her rage? I'm not sure if rage would be the right word for it. Her feelings of vengeance? Well, either way, I'm very surprised and proud of Nell for acting very calmly, despite the girl attempting to choke him, even though she failed to motivate herself to do it at the very end. And it seems he was able to convince her. But according to the maid's story, this led to a thorny path that we'll see next time. So with that being said, see you next time. Bye bye.
Set the scene in a local bed's big dream. Axe is ready.